Good afternoon. Thank you for your attendance. I'd like to thank Jay Martin and the crew at Cambridge House for putting together such a great event. I've been coming for years on both sides of the table. I also wanted to say a special thank you to the CSC. They are definitely a stock exchange that understands the challenges of a microcap company. Their support has been amazing. We are a newly listed company on the CSC. We started trading at the end of September. Our ticker is ITKO, I for Idaho and TKO for champion. You've seen enough forward-looking statements. I don't think I need to cover that one. We have 2 gold projects and 4 cobalt projects, all in the state of Idaho. We are Idaho-focused. We believe that Idaho today is where Nevada was 30 years ago. It is very much minerally endowed, and it's just a matter of now people coming in and doing modern-day exploration. There's been significant money spent in the state. It's been continuously mining since the 1860s, and the big area that everybody would probably be most familiar is the Silver Valley. Our flagship project is the Banner project. We also have the Champagne, which is a second gold project, and then we have 4 cobalt projects in the Idaho Cobalt Belt, and we're one of the largest land holders in the Idaho Cobalt Belt. Why champion and why Idaho? Idaho is definitely open for business. When you have a governor of a state flying around with mining companies to New York and Toronto and Chicago to promote the state, it tells me they're open for business. We've had fantastic relationships with the BLM and the U.S. Forest Service, and they are very keen to see people come in and make discovery and spend money. Banner is a project that we bought in fall of 2016 from a family. The family had it since 1892. It is now 5 different distinct families that had ownership. The patriarch in the 1920s put in 11 adits, was pulling out 2/3 of an ounce of gold as well as silver. No modern exploration had been done on it. He passed away. There was a report done in 1946 by a professor at University of Idaho who used this as a teaching project for his students as they came back from the war. And he had done a number of sampling in the adits and on surface that gave us reason to look at it. I'll speak to Champagne and the Cobalt Belt in a moment. So here's where the Banner is. We're 3 miles as the crow flies from Elk City. It's Elk City because there's more elk there than people. We just did our first drill program last summer into the fall. We completed our program end of October. We drilled 19 holes, and we've made a discovery. It's in a very highly oxidized area. We averaged over 100 meters of oxidization, which will certainly help with the metallurgy. And in addition to that, we purchased 6 claims to the north, and it's given us an additional 2 kilometers of strike immediately to the north of our structure. So this is a Google image of Elk City. Our Banner project, you see there, the rectangle in white. There's a creek that you see flowing from to the left of us. It's called Crooked Creek, and it flows from south to north. As we were doing a global look for projects back in 2015-16, we had our geologists zoom in on Elk City and started doing research. The Crooked Creek, between 1860 and 1910, they alluvially mined 1.5 million ounces of gold. Now, the exciting part for our geologists, and I'm not a geologist, so I'll speak on behalf of them, was it was all in a flake, which means the gold hadn't traveled far. As we started looking at the topography, our geologists became more and more convinced that gold came up, we were the source of the gold that came into the streams. They still allow placer mining 1 month a year in this area, and you'll still see guys out there with generators and little trailers for the month of July, alluvially mining right along the Elk Creek in the Crooked Creek area. These are some of the results from our exploration program. We had good intervals, good grade, and the further north we went, the better the grade was in the continuity. We believe that we have globally within the land package 2 distinct zones. We've made the discovery in the first zone. And you can see those. Those are highlighted. We also have hard copy at our booth, but I'm not going to go through each drill hole. But certainly, you can see we've had good grade. So this is the project area at Banner. We're planning to do a minimum of another 3,000 meters this spring. The yellow area is the land package that we've just purchased. We use shares to buy those, and it gives us that 2 kilometers of strike to the north. And we've already have a drill permit that we're just waiting for the government shutdown to start up again so that we can then get that final permit. But we know we have the drill permit. We're waiting for one last piece, and we expect to have that depending on when the shutdown stops, but certainly before we commence drilling in the spring. The Champagne project, it's a past-producing heap leach. It was one of the first heap leach projects in western U.S. BEMA had it in production in the late 80s, early 90s. They then moved their focus to South America. We believe there's a heavily enriched epithermal system underneath, and this is a project that we picked up near ITKO, so more to the southeast of where Banner is. We had a sample program happening there through December. It's been light with snow cover so far. We're going to continue doing a soil grid sample across there in about 2 weeks' time. So we will be looking at potentially doing an IP program there as well this summer to then have drill targets to go in and drill that next year. But our spend and our focus is still on Banner, but this is I would say, our second project. Idaho Cobalt. I'm sure everybody's become familiar with the EV theme. I'm not going to go into that. What I will say is that we are one of the largest land package holders in the Cobalt Belt. We're adjacent to U.S. Cobalt, which is now First Cobalt. We're directly below Cobalt. We have historic work that's been done on the ground, and we are actively looking at actively advancing conversations on either an outright sale or joint venture. When we formed the company, we were focused on gold. People say, why cobalt? We wanted to have a life jacket should we not be successful with the Banner drill program. Now that we've been successful with Banner, we will monetize the cobalt so we have no dilution at the corporate level. We did a 500 sample across the 3 lower projects that you'll see at the bottom. We also have one at the top, and those samples will be going in the lab. They just finished that just before Christmas, so we'll be getting some results on that as well. Cobalt, I think the next producing cobalt mine in North America will be Cobalt, and I think if you see the amount of activity in Lemhi County, you would agree. The agencies there have been very supportive. I think the people that worked in the different satellite offices were shocked last year when everybody had a land rush. A bunch of old ladies in the BLM office had never seen anything else, and it turned into a butcher shop. Everybody was there with their tickets waiting to get seen. We were fortunate. We bought this off a family of stakers who had control of this ground for a long time, and this was, again, an acquisition we used shares for. I believe in having a report card and being accountable. And so this was our report card. On the left are the things that we said we were going to do when we raised our money as a private company, and we've completed all the things that we said we were going to do. On the right, you'll see notes. This is what we're going to be doing in 2019. And when I'm back next year speaking, you'll see that I'll either have a check or an explanation as to why it hasn't been checked yet. But I think the biggest challenge you face as an investor, and I'm an investor in this space as well, is understanding what you're doing and how you're deploying your capital and how you're being held accountable to what you're saying you're going to do. This is our report card, and again, we have copies of that at the booth. This is what happens next. These are the things that we're going to be doing at each of the projects. Again, Banner is our focus, and that's where our majority of our spend will go. Cap table. We had just under 40 million shares out. Management owns 55% of that. We don't believe in 001 stock. We pay for our stock. We've put 1.2 million US in as a management team. Our shareholders are our partners. The difference between them and us is we've agreed to a 3-year lockup. The share count you see includes the transactions for the Cobalt as well as the Sally claims that were a part of the Banner. So the very tight share structure. We have very good shareholders, and we're poised for expanding on our discovery, and we believe that it's a great time to be in gold, and it's an even better time to be in Idaho. Again, just refreshing things. We got the Banner, the Champagne, and our Cobalt projects. Our geologist has worked in Idaho for the majority of his career. Elk City is a known mining camp. We have a Finnish company called Endo Mines, which bought a project called the Friday for 32 million US last May. They have a significant spend going on. That project's 5 miles south of us. They're building a mill. New Jersey Mining is also active in the state. You got Black Mammoth, or in Elk City, you got Black Mammoth. So there's a hub of activity in that camp, and we're excited to see other people coming in. It's a very depressed economic part of the state, and so the communities, we've tried to hire as many as we could. Our 2 young geos, our new grads from 2 universities in Idaho, our heavy equipment operators from Idaho. We bought our diesel in Elk Creek. Our field techs were from Idaho. We want Idaho to know that we're there to support the communities, and I think there's not enough junior exploration companies to do that. You can't do this by fly in, fly out. This is a very rural part of America. They're very conservative, and they have to know that you're aligned with them. This is our board. Bruce Reed's my chairman. Myself as president and CEO, and then Paul Fornazzari. Don Sheldon actually just resigned due to some conflicts. And that's my name, that's my cell number, my email. Happy to take any questions. We're booth 802, and again, our ticker symbol is ITKO on the CSE.